zoo. I said I've been to the zoo. Mister! I've been to the zoo.
Well, I'm sorry, were you talking to me?
I went to the zoo and then I walked until I came here. Have I been walking north?
North. Well, let's see.
Is that Fifth Avenue?
Yes, it is.
And what is that across the street? That one to the right.
That's 74th Street.
The zoo is around 65th Street, so I've been walking north.
Yes, it would seem so.
Good old north.
Yeah.
But not due north.
No, not due north. You know, it's northerly. We call it north.
Oh boy, you're not gonna get lung cancer, are you?
No, sir, not with this.
No, sir. What you'll probably get is cancer of the mouth. And then you'll have to wear one of those things that Freud wore after they took one whole side of his jaw away. What do they call those things?
Prosthesis.
The very thing, a prosthesis. You're an educated man, aren't you? Are you a doctor?
No. I read about it somewhere. Time magazine, I think.
Well, Time magazine isn't for blockheads.
No, I suppose not.
Boy, I am glad that's Fifth Avenue there.
Yeah.
I don't like the west side of the park very much.
Oh? Why?
I don't know. Do you mind if we talk?
No. No, I don't mind.
Yes, you do.
No, really, I don't mind.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't mind at all. Really.
It's a nice day.
Yes, it is. It's lovely.
I've been to the zoo.
Yes, I think you said so, didn't you?
You'll read about it in the papers tomorrow. If you don't see it on your TV tonight, you have TV, haven't you?
Oh, yes, we have 2 HD TVs, one for the children.
You're married!
Certainly.
It isn't a law, for God's sake.
No, of course not.
And you have a wife.
Yes.
And you have children.
Yes, 2.
Boys.
No, girls, both girls.
But you wanted boys.
Well, I mean, naturally, every man wants a son, but...
But that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but...
And you aren't going to have any more kids, are you?
No more. But why would you ask that? I mean, how would you know about that?
The way you cross your legs, perhaps. Something in the voice, or maybe, and I'm just guessing here, is it your wife?
Now, that's none of your business. Do you understand that... You understand? But, yes, you're right. There will be no more children.
And that is the way the cookie crumbles.
Yes, I guess it is.
Well then, what else?
What were you saying about the zoo or something I'd seen on TV?
I'll tell you about it soon. Do you mind if I ask you questions?
No.
I'll tell you why I do it. I don't talk to many people except to say, like, give me a beer, or where's the John, or what time does the feature go on? Or keep your hands to yourself, buddy, you know, things like that.
Now, see here, I don't...
But every once in a while, I like to talk to somebody. Really talk to somebody. Get to know all about him.
And I'm the guinea pig for today?
On a sun-drenched Sunday afternoon like this, who better than a nice married man with 2 daughters and a dog? No? 2 dogs. No dogs. But you look like an animal man. Cats? Oh. Cats! Oh, but that can't be your idea. No, sir. Your wife and your daughters? Is there anything else I should know?
There are 2 parakeets, one for each of my daughters.
Birds.
My daughters keep them in a cage in their room.
Do they carry diseases? The birds.
I don't believe so.
That's too bad. If they did, you could set them loose in the house, and the cats could eat them and die. Maybe. And what else? What do you do to support your enormous household?
I have an executive position with a small publishing house. We publish textbooks.
That sounds nice. Very nice. What do you make?
Now, see here.
Come on.
I make around $200,000 a year, but I only carry about $40 in cash on me, so if you're a holdup, man, you're out of luck.
Where do you live?
Oh, no.
Oh, no, wait. I didn't. No, I'm not going to rob you. I'm not going to kidnap your parakeets, your cats, or your daughters.
I live between Lexington and 3rd Avenue on 74th Street.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
You know, I'm sorry if I seem... You just don't carry on a regular conversation. You just ask questions, and I'm normally a little more reticent. Why don't you just stand there?
Mm-hmm. I'll start walking around in a little while, and eventually I'll sit down. Wait until you see the expression on his face.
What? Whose face? Is this something about the zoo?
The what?
The zoo. The zoo. Something about the zoo?
The zoo?
You've mentioned it several times.
Zoo? The zoo! I just came from there! I told you that. Say, what's the dividing line between the upper middle class and the lower upper middle class?
You know, my dear fellow...
Don't, my dear fellow, me!
Was I patronizing? You know what I was. I'm sorry. It's just your question about the classes bewildered me.
And when you're bewildered, you become patronizing?
I don't express myself very well sometimes. Maybe that's why I'm in publishing, not writing.
So be it. Truth is, I was being patronizing.
Now, you needn't say that.
All right. Who are your favorite writers? Baudelaire and Stephen King?
Well, I have a great many favorite writers. I have a considerable catholicity of taste, if I may say so. Now, those are both fine writers, Baudelaire being the finer of the two, certainly. But you know, Stephen King has a place in our national...
Skip it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you know what I did before I went to the zoo today? I walked all the way up 5th Avenue from Washington Square. All the way.
So you live in the village?
No, I don't. I took the subway down to the village so I could walk up 5th Avenue to the zoo. It's one of those things a person has to do. Sometimes a person has to go a very long distance out of his way to come back a short distance correctly.
I thought you lived in the village.
What were you trying to do? Make sense out of things? Bring order? The old pigeonhole bit? Well, that's easy, I'll tell you. I live in a 4-story brownstone rooming house on the Upper West Side between Columbus Avenue and Central Park West. I live on the top floor, rear, west. It's a laughable small room. And one of my walls is made of beaver board. This beaver board separates my room from another laughable small room. So I assume that the two rooms were once one room. A small room, but not necessarily laughable. The room across from my beaver board wall is occupied by a colored queen who always keeps his door open. Well, not always, but always when he's plucking his eyebrows, which he does with Buddhist concentration. This colored queen has rotten teeth, which is rare, and he has a Japanese kimono, which is also pretty rare. And he wears this kimono to and from the John in the hall, which is pretty frequent. I mean, he goes to the John. He goes to the John a lot. He never bothers me and never brings anyone up to his room. All he does is plug his eyebrows, wear his kimono, and go to the job. Now, the other two front rooms on my floor are a little larger, I guess. But they're pretty small, too. There's a Puerto Rican family in one of them, a husband, a wife, some kids. I don't know how many. These people entertain a lot. And in the other front room, there's somebody living there, but I don't know who it is. I've never seen who it is. Never, never, ever.
Why do you live there?
I don't know.
It doesn't sound very nice where you live.
Well, no. It isn't an apartment in the East 70s. But, then again, I don't have one wife, 2 daughters, 2 parakeets, and 2 cats. What I do have, I have toilet articles, a few clothes, a hot plate that I'm not supposed to have, a can opener, one that was with a key, a knife, 2 forks, 2 spoons, 1 small, 1 large, 2 picture frames, both empty, 8 or 9 books, a dish, a cup, a saucer, a pack of pornographic playing cards, regular deck, an old Western Union typewriter that prints nothing but capital letters, and a small, strong box without a lock, which has in it what? Rocks! Some rocks, sea rounded rocks I picked up on the beach when I was a kid, under which way down are some letters. Please, why don't you do this? And please, when will you do that? And when letters do? When will you write? When will you come? These letters are from more recent years.
You know, about those 2 empty picture frames.
I don't see why they need any explanation at all. Isn't it clear? I don't have pictures of anyone to put them in.
Well, your parents, or perhaps a girlfriend.
You are a very sweet man, and you're possessed of a truly enviable innocence. But good old Mom and good old Pop are dead. You know? I'm broken up about it, too. I mean, really. But that particular ball bill act is playing the cloud circuit now, so I don't see how I can look at them all neat and framed. Besides, or rather to be pointed about it, good old Mom walked out on good old Pop when I was 10.5 years old. She embarked on an adulterous turn of the southern states, a journey of a year's duration. And her most constant companion, among many others, was a Mr. Barleycorn. At least, that's what good old Pop told me when he went down, came back, and brought her body north. We had received the news between Christmas and New Year's, you see, that good old Mom had parted with the ghost in some dump in Alabama. And without the ghost, she was less welcomed. I mean, what was she? A stiff? A northern stiff? At any rate, good old Pop celebrated the New Year for an even 2 weeks, and then slapped into the front of a somewhat slow-moving omnibus, which sort of cleaned things out family-wise. Well, no. Then there was Mom's sister, who was given neither to sin nor the consolation of the bottle. I moved in on her, and my memory of her is slight, expecting. I remember still that she did all things dourly, eating, working, praying, sleeping. She dropped dead to the stairs to her apartment, my apartment then too. On the afternoon of my high school graduation, a terribly, terribly Middle European joke, if you ask me.
My.
Oh, you're what? But that was some time ago, and as you can see, I have no feelings about it whatsoever that I care to admit to myself. So perhaps you can see why good old Mom and good old Pop are friends. What's your name? Your first name.
I'm Peter.
I forgot to ask you. I'm Jerry.
Hello, Jerry.
Now let's see. What's the point of having a girl's picture, especially in 2 picture frames? I have 2 picture frames. You remember? I never see the pretty little ladies more than once, and most of them wouldn't be caught in the same room with a camera. It's odd, and I wonder if it's sad.
The girls?
No, I wonder if it's sad that I've never seen the pretty little ladies more than once. I've never been able to have sex, or how's it put, make love to anybody more than once. Once. That's it. Oh, wait. For a week and a half, when I was 15, and I hang my head in shame that puberty was late. I was a HOMOSEXULL. I mean, I was queer, with bells ringing and banners snapping in the wind. And for those 11 days, I met at least twice a day with a park superintendent's son, a Greek boy whose birthday was the same as mine, except he was a year older, and I think I was very much in love. Maybe just with the sex. But that was a jazz of a very special hotel, wasn't it? And now, do I love the little ladies? Really, I love them. For about an hour.
Well, it seems perfectly simple to me.
Look, you're not going to tell me to get married and then have parakeets.
You know, forget the parakeets. Stay single if you want to. It's no business of mine. I didn't start this conversation.
All right. I'm sorry, all right? You're not angry.
No, not.
Good. Interesting that you asked me about the picture frames. I would have thought that you would have asked me about the pornographic playing cards.
I know about those cards.
That's not the point. I suppose when you were a kid, you and your pals had a pack of your own, or you passed them around.
Well, yeah, I'm sure a lot of us did.
And you threw them away just before you got married.
Well, now see here, I didn't need anything like that when I got older.
No.
You know, I don't want to talk about these things.
So don't. Besides, I wasn't trying to plumb your post-adolescent sexual life in hard times. What I wanted to get at is the value difference between pornographic playing cards when you're a kid and pornographic playing cards when you're older. You see, when you're a kid, you use the cards as a substitute for the real experience. And when you're older, you use the real experience as a substitute for the fantasy. But I imagine you'd rather hear about what happened at the zoo.
Yes, the zoo. I mean, you know, if you're comfortable telling me.
Let me tell you why. Well, let me tell you some things. I told you about the rooming house where I live. I think the floors get better as you go down, floor by floor. I don't know any of the people on the second and third floor. Oh, wait, I do know that there is a lady living on the third floor in the front. I know this because she cries all the time. Whenever I come in, whenever I go out, whenever I pass through her door, I always hear her crying, muffled, but very determined indeed. But the one I'm getting about, and all about the dog, is the landlady. Now, I don't like to use words that are too harsh in describing people. I don't like to. But the landlady is a fat, ugly, mean, stupid, unwashed, misanthropic, cheap-dropping bag of garbage! And you may have noticed that I very seldom use profanity. So I can't describe her as well as I might.
Oh, you describe her vividly.
Well, thanks. Anyway, she and her dog are the gatekeepers of my dwelling. I mean, the woman is bad enough. She leans around in the entrance hall, spying to see that I'm bringing things or people. And when she's had her mid-afternoon pint of lemon-flavored gin, she always stops me in the hall and grabs a hold of my coat or my arm. She presses her disgusting body up against me in the corner so she can talk to me. The smell of her body, her breath, you can't imagine it. And somewhere in the back of that pea-sized brain of hers, an organ developed just enough to let her eat, drink, and emit. She has some foul parody of sexual desire. And I, Peter, I am the object of her sweaty lust.
That's disgusting. I mean, that's horrible.
But I have found a way to keep her off. Whenever she talks to me, whenever she presses her disgusting body up against me and puts me in the corner and tells me how I should come there, I merely say, but love, wasn't yesterday enough for you? And the day before? Then she puzzles. She makes slits out of her tiny eyes and she sways a little. And then, Peter, it is at this moment that I think that I might be doing some actual good in that tormented house. A simple-minded smile begins to form on her awful face as she giggles and as she groans, as she thinks about yesterday and the day before, as she believes and relives what never happened. Then she motions to that black monster of God she has. She goes back to her room, and then I am safe to our next meeting.
It's so unthinkable. I mean, I have such a hard time imagining people such as that really are.
It's for reading about, isn't it?
Yes.
And fact is better left to fiction. You're right, Peter. What I've been meaning to tell you about is the dog. I shall now.
Dog.
Don't go. You're not thinking of going, are you?
No, I don't think so.
Because after I tell you about the dog, do you know what then? Then I'll tell you about what happened at the zoo.
You are full of stories, aren't you?
You don't have to listen. Nobody is keeping you here. Remember that. Keep that in the back of your mind.
I know that.
You? Good. All right. The story of Jerry and the dog. What I'm about to tell you has to do with how it's necessary to go a long distance out of your way to come back a short distance correctly. Or maybe I only think that it has to do with that. But it's why I went to the zoo and why I walked northerly rather, until I came here. All right, I think I told you that the dog is a black monster of a beast with an oversized head, tiny ears, and tiny eyes, bloodshot, infected maybe, and a body you can see the ribs through the skin. The dog is all black except for bloodshot eyes and, yes, an open sore on its right forepaw. That's red too. And, oh yes, the poor dog. I do believe the dog's an old one. It's certainly a misused one. Almost always has an erection, sort of. That's red too. And what else? Oh, there's also a gray, yellow, white color too, when he bares his fangs like this. Which is what he did when he saw me for the first time, the day I moved in. I worried about that animal the very first minute I met him. Now, animals don't take to me like St. Francis had birds hanging off him all the time. What I mean is, animals are indifferent to me, like people, most of the time. But this dog wasn't indifferent. From the moment he saw me, he snarled to get one of my legs. Not like he was rabid, you know, but he was sort of a stumbly dog. But he wasn't half-assed either. It was good. It was a good stumbly run. But I always got away. He got this the second day I lived there. See where it's mended? But I kicked free and got up the stairs, so that was that. You know, to this day, I don't know how the other roomers manage it. But you know what I think? I think it had to do only with me. Cozy. So, anyway, this went on for over a week. Whenever I came in, but never when I went out. It's funny, or it was funny. I could pack up and live in the street for all the dog cared. Well, I thought about the dog up in my room one day, one of the times after I bolted up the stairs, and I made up my mind I decided first, I'll kill the dog with kindness. And if that doesn't work, I'll just kill him. Don't react, Peter. Just listen. So I went out and bought a bag of hamburgers, medium rare, no ketchup, no onion, and I threw away all the rolls when I got home. When I came to the rooming house, the beast was waiting for me. I opened the door very cautiously, and there he was, waiting for me. Figures. I came in very slowly. I had the hamburgers, you remember, and I placed the meat about 12 feet from where the dog was snoring. Like so, he snarled. And then he sniffed. And then he moved slowly, then faster towards the meat. When he got to it, he stopped and he looked at me. And I smiled, tentatively, you understand. Then he looked back into the bag, sniffed some more, and then like that. It was as if he had never eaten anything in his life before other than garbage, which might very well have been the truth. I don't think the landlady ever eats anything but garbage. But he ate them all at once, making sounds in his throat like a woman. And when he was done eating the meat and the paper too, he sat down. He smiled. I think he smiled. I know cats do. It was a very gratifying few moments. And then, BAM! He went for me and snarled and went to go get one of my legs, but I got up the stairs. While I was laying in my bed, I started to think about the dog again. And to be truthful, I was offended. I mean, I was damn mad too. It was 6 perfectly good hamburgers with not enough pork in them to make them disgusting. I was offended. But if you think about it, this dog had what amounted to a certain antipathy towards me, really. And I hoped that I might overcome this antipathy. But I decided to try it for 5 more days, but it was always the same: snarl, sniff, move, faster, gobble, snarl, bam! Well, by this time, Columbus Avenue was strewn with hamburger rolls, and I was less offended than disgusted. So I decided to kill the dog. Don't be so alarmed, Peter. I didn't succeed. The day I tried to kill the dog, I bought only 1 hamburger, and what I thought was a murderous portion of rat poison. When I bought the hamburger, I asked the man not to bother with the rolls. All I wanted was the meat. Now, I was expecting some reaction from him. You know, something like, we don't sell no hamburgers without no rolls. Or something like, what are you gonna do? Eat it out of your hands? But he smiled benignly, wrapped up the hamburger in wax paper, and said, "A bite for your pussycat?" I wanted to say, no, not really. It's part of a plan I have to poison a dog I know. But you can't say a dog I know without sounding funny. So I said, a little too loud, I am afraid, and too formally, "Yes, a bite for my pussycat." Everybody looked up. It always happens when I try to simplify things. People look up, but that's neither here nor there. On my way back to the rooming house, I kneaded the rat poison and the hamburgers together in my hands, at this point feeling as much sadness as disgust. When I got back to the rooming house, there he was, waiting for me, ready to take the offering and then jump me. Poor bastard. He never learned that the moment he took the smile, just before he went for me, gave me enough time to get out of range. But there he was, malevolence, with an erection waiting. I put the poison patty down, like so, and moved towards the stairs. He came to the hamburger, gobbled it up, as usual, smiled, which made me almost sick, and then bam, But I got away, as usual. And it came to pass that the beast was deathly ill. I knew this because he no longer attended to me, and because the landlady had sobered up. Her eyes were wide open for the first time. They looked like the dog's eyes, to be truthful. She told me on the attempted night of murder that God had struck her puppy Shirley a fatal blow. Her eyes were wide open and they looked like the dog's eyes. She sniveled and she cried and implored me to pray for the animal. I wanted to say to her, Madam, I have myself to pray for. The colored queen, the Puerto Rican family. The woman who cries behind her closed door and all the other people in all the other rooming houses ever. Besides, Madam, I don't understand how to pray. But to simplify things, I told her I would pray. She looked up and said that I was a liar. I told her, and there was so much truth here, that I didn't want the dog to die. I didn't. And not just because I poisoned it. I'm afraid I must tell you, I wanted the dog to live so I could see what our new relationship might come to. Peter, you must understand, that sort of thing is important. We need to know the effect of our actions. Anyway, the dog recovered. I have no idea why, unless he's a descendant of a puppy that guarded the gates of hell or some such resort. I'm not up to my mythology, are you? At any rate, the dog recovered and the landlady recovered her thirst, in no way altered by Bow Wow's deliverance. When I came home from a movie that was playing on 42nd Street, a movie I had seen, or one that was much like one or several I had seen, after the landlady told me Puppykins was better, I was so hoping for the dog to be waiting for me. I was, well, how would you put it? Excited? No. Ecstatic? No. Heart-shatteringly anxious. Yes, that was it. I was heart-shatteringly anxious to confront my friend again. Yes, Peter, friend. That's the only word for it. I was heart-shatteringly, etc., to confront my doggy friend again. I came into the door advanced, unafraid, to the center of the hall. And there he was, looking at me. And, you know, he looked better for his scrape with the... Never mind. So there we were, looking at each other. Just looking at each other, very still, like stone statues. He looked into my face, and I looked into his. I mean, I can concentrate longer at looking into a dog's face, and a dog can concentrate at looking into mine, or anyone else's for that matter. But during that 20 seconds, or 2 hours that we looked at each other, we had made contact. Now here's what I wanted to happen. I love the dog now, and I wanted him to love me. I had tried to love, and I had tried to kill. And both had been unsuccessful by themselves. And I hoped, and I don't really know why I thought the dog would understand, but I hope that the dog would understand. It's just that if you can't deal with people, then you have to deal with animals. Don't you see? A person has to have some way of dealing with something. With a bed, with a cockroach, with a mirror. No, not that. That's too hard. That's one of the last steps. With a cockroach, with a carpet, with a roll of toilet paper. No, not that either. That's the same as a mirror. Always check bleeding. You see how hard it is to find things? With a street corner, and those lights reflecting on all the oily, wet streets, with a wisp of smoke, with pornographic playing cards, with a strong box without a lock, with love, with vomiting, with crying, with fury, because the pretty little ladies are pretty little ladies, with making money with your body, which is an act of love, and I can prove it with howling, because you're alive with God. How about that? With God, who is a colored queen, who plants his eyebrows, who is a woman who cries behind her door with such determination. With God, who I'm told will turn his back on the whole thing some time ago. And someday with people. People. With an idea, with a concept. And we're ever better than this humiliating excuse for a jail cell. We're better to communicate one simple, single-minded idea than where? In an entrance hall? Where would be a start? We're better to communicate and be understood and just possibly understand as well. A beginning of an understanding than with a dog. Just that. Dog. It seemed like a perfectly sensible idea. Man is a dog's best friend, remember? So the dog and I looked at each other. I longer than the dog. And what I have seen then has been the same ever since. Whenever the dog and I see each other, we stop where we are, and we regard each other with a mixture of sadness and suspicion. And then we feign indifference. We walk past each other safely. We have an understanding. It's very sad, but you have to admit, it is an understanding. I have learned that the dog has returned to garbage, and I to solitary, but free passage. I have not returned. I mean to say that I have gained solitary free passage, and that much further loss can be said to be gained. I have learned that neither kindness nor cruelty, by themselves, independent of each other, creates any effect beyond themselves. And I have learned that the two combined at the same time are a teaching emotion, and what is gained is loss. And what has been the result? The dog and I have attained a compromise, more of a bargain, really. We do not love nor hurt because we do not try to reach each other. And was my attempt to feed the dog an act of love, and perhaps was the dog's attempt to bite me not an act of love? If we can so misunderstand, then why have we invented the word love in the first place? Story, Jerry, and the dog. The end. Well, Peter. Well, Peter. Oh my gosh. Do you think I could sell that story to the Reader's Digest and make a couple $100 for the most unforgettable character I've ever met? Well, what do you think, Peter? Tell me what you think, Peter. Come on.
I don't understand what, I don't think I... Why did you tell me all of this?
Why not?
I don't understand.
That's a lie.
No, it's not.
I went very slowly. It all has to do with...
No,
how
don't tell me
sometimes it's
anymore. I don't understand you, or your landlady, or her dog.
Her dog! I thought it was... No. No, you're right. It is her dog. I don't know what I was thinking. Of course you don't understand. I don't live in your block. I'm not married to parakeets, or whatever your setup is. I'm a permanent transient at the most sickening rooming houses in the west side of New York City, which is the greatest city in the world. Amen!
Look, I'm sorry.
Forget it. I suppose you don't quite know what to make of me, eh?
We get all kinds in publishing.
Peter, you know you are? You're a very richly comic person.
No, I'm really not.
Peter, do I annoy you or confuse you?
I must confess, this is not the kind of afternoon I'd anticipated.
You mean I'm not the gentleman you were expecting?
Well, I wasn't expecting anyone.
No, I don't imagine that you were. But I'm here now and I'm not leaving.
You know, that may be the case, but I really should be getting home.
Oh, come on, stay a while longer.
No, I really should get home.
Oh, come
Dinner
on.
in the,
Peter! Hey, guess what? Chicken box!
Stop, Jerry, stop.
Wait, no, man!
Dinner! Come on, Jerry, go! Jeez, wow. Oh, shit. Whew. I don't know what got
Listen to me now.
What?
Peter, do you want to know what happened at the zoo?
Zoo, yeah, what, I don't know. I was having my own little zoo with the cats and the parakeets and
Yes, it was very funny, Peter. I wouldn't have expected it. But, do you want to know what happened at the zoo or not?
Yes, by all means, tell me what happened at the zoo. Wow.
Now I'll let you in on what happened at the zoo. But first, I should tell you some things. I should tell you why I went to the zoo. I went to the zoo to find out the way people exist with animals and the way animals exist with people and with each other. Probably wasn't a fair test, what with everyone separated by the bars. The animals from each other and the people from the animals, and always the animals from the people. But if it's a zoo, that's the way it is. Move over.
I'm sorry, haven't you enough room?
So it's a Sunday, and all the people are there, and all the animals are there, and all the children are there. Move over.
All right.
And it's a hot day, and all the stench is there too. And the ice cream sellers are there, and the balloon sellers are there, and the seals are barking, and the birds are screaming, move over!
Now come on, you have more than enough room.
And now I'm there. And then I look, and I see the lion tamer go into one of the lion houses to feed one of the lions in one of the lion houses. Move over!
I can't move over any further and stop hitting me. What's the matter with you?
Don't you want to hear the rest of the story?
I'm not so sure. I certainly don't want to get punched in the arm.
I mean, like that?
Hey, stop that. What's the matter with you?
I'm crazy, you bastard!
That isn't funny.
Listen to me, Peter. Go sit over there on that bench, and if you're good, I'll tell you the rest of the story.
No. No. I'm not going to give up this bench. I come sit on this bench every Sunday afternoon in good weather, and
Peter,
it's secluded here. Nobody ever sits here. I always have it to myself.
listen to me. I am going to have this bench. Now get off of here and go sit over there.
No, I've put up with you long enough.
Not really.
Yes, all afternoon, long enough. And I have listened to you because it seemed like, well, I thought you needed to talk to somebody.
You put things well, economically. And yet, what's the word I want to put? Jesus, you make me sick. Get off of here and give me my bench.
No,
Get out of my sight.
God damn it. I've had enough of you. That is enough. This is my bench. I am not giving it up. You can't have it. And that's that. Now, go away. Go away, I said. I warn you. If you don't get away from here, if you don't move on, you're a bum. That's what you are. If you don't move on, I'll get a policeman and make you go. I mean it. I'll call a policeman.
You won't find a policeman anywhere near here. They're all over the west side of the park, chasing fairies down from trees or out of bushes. That's their function. That's all they do. So go ahead, scream your head off. It won't do you any good.
Police! I warn you, I'll have you arrested. Police! I said police! I feel ridiculous.
You look ridiculous. A grown man screaming for the police on a bright Sunday afternoon with no one hurting him? If a policeman did come after filling his quota, he'd come over here and sludge over and take you in as a nut.
Good God, I just came here to read, and now you're trying to force me to give up this bench? You're mad.
Hey, I got news for you, as they say, pal. I'm on your precious bench, and you're never going to have it for yourself again.
It is my bench, and I want you off of it. I don't care if it makes sense or not. This is my bench. Get off.
Well, who's mad?
Stop that.
No.
I warn you.
Why? You have everything in the world you could possibly want. You've told me. You told me about your wife, your 2 daughters, your home, your own little zoo, and now you want this bench, this iron, this wood. Is this the thing that's worth fighting for? Tell me, Peter, is this your honor? Could you think of anything more absurd?
Absurd. I'm not going to talk to you about honor or even try to explain it to you. Besides, it's not a question of honor. And even if it was, you wouldn't understand.
So you don't even know what you're saying, do you? This is probably the first time in your life you've had to face anything other than changing your cat's toilet box. Stupid. Do you have the slightest idea, not even the slightest idea what other people need?
Listen to you, boy. You don't need this bench, that's for sure.
Yes, I do.
I have been coming here for years. I have hours of great pleasure, great satisfaction right here. And that's important to a man. I'm a responsible person. I'm a grown-up. And this is my bench, and you have no right to try and take it away from me.
Then defend yourself. Defend your bench.
But you push me to it. Get up and fight.
You mean like a man?
Yes, like a man, if you insist on locking me in further.
You are a vegetable. A slightly nearsighted one, too.
You stop that.
think. And you know, Peter, as they say on TV all the time, and I mean this, Peter, you have a certain dignity. It really surprises me. But we will battle for the bench, Peter. But we are not evenly matched. Are you ready?
Oh my God, you are mad. You are stark raving mad. You're going to kill me?
Get the knife. It will be more evenly matched.
No.
Peter,
You get away.
you pick up that knife and you fight. You fight for your bench.
Stop it.
Fight for your goddamn self-respect. You fight, you bastard.
Let go.
You fight me.
Stop this.
Get it, little vegetable. Fight for your wife. Fight for your daughters. Fight for your cats. Fight for your barricades. You couldn't even give your wife a male child.
It's a matter of genetics, not manhood, you monster. I'll give you one last chance. You get away from here and you leave me alone.
So be it.
No. Ah! Oh! 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 Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Thank you, Peter.
Oh my God!
I mean that now. Thank you.
Oh my God!
Oh, Peter. I was so afraid that you would leave me. You have no idea how afraid I was that you'd go.
Oh my God!
And now I'll tell you what happened at the zoo. I think this is what happened.
Oh my
I went to
God!
the zoo and I decided that I would walk northerly rather, until I found someone, or I found you, and I would tell you things, and the things that I would tell you would, well,
Oh my God!
here we are. But, I don't know. Could I have planned all this? I don't think so.
Oh my God!
But I think I did. And now you know the face that you'll see on your TV tonight. Peter, you remember the face I told you about? My face? Peter, I came on to you and you have comforted me. Dear Peter, hurry, Peter, hurry away.
Oh my God!
You've been dispossessed. But Peter, I'll tell you something. You're not a vegetable. You're not. You're an animal. You're an animal too, Peter.
Oh my God!
Now hurry. Hurry.
Oh my God!
Peter! Your book.
Ah.
Come and get your book on your bench.
Oh my God!
My bench, rather. Very good, Peter.
Oh my God!
Very good. Hurry. Hurry away.
Oh my God!
Hurry away. The cats are making the dinner, and the parakeets are preparing the tea. Oh my God.